Yo, what's going on, everybody? Thank you guys so much for tuning in here on the BGN network. But today, this evening, we got a merger of BGN with Battlebirds podcast. I got my guy, the General, here. And this time, we can talk about a W in the Meadowlands as opposed to last week. What you think, Fresh?
First of all, yo, that man, you know what it is, you know what it is, your boy Philly Fresh, aka the General, and I feel I ain't gonna say I'm going to overreact because I think that we got some things to talk about on the defensive end that I did not like, especially in the first half. But I mean, we coming off of this win, and now it depends on what happened with Washington. But now we are the 7th seed in the playoffs. Yes, I said playoffs. Yes, I said playoffs. We are the 7th seed right now. We got to see if Oakland take care of business. Hopefully they do. But Gates, take us away, man.
Look, I thought, we were the better team out there. I think that was obvious right from the start. I agree with you that the defense in the first half of the game, especially in particular that first quarter, it was a little rough out there in the coverage. I felt like we were being a little passive in the coverage, and it felt like that, they were just kind of taking what we were giving them and moving the ball pretty easily. But in saying that, man, like they got it together, they adjusted, and this team really took over. I mean, to me, pretty much once we put that field goal up at 24, it was over. Like this team had control, and it was pretty impressive to see this team move the ball through the run and the pass in the second half of the game because they were hitting and moving the chains and just kind of prolonging the clock without really trying to push and run the score up, which was kind of impressive to see. You know what I'm saying? Like that was interesting to see them be able to drive. Like it was like, what was it, like 13 out of 15 minutes at one point? The Eagles had control of the ball. I mean, it was a ridiculous stat like that.
That third quarter was brutal for them, not for us.
Yeah. No. I mean, it was a good outcome for us, to be honest with you. Kelsey, though, man, I'm hoping that situation is not serious.
Me and you both, because last week it was the right knee, and it looked like he was holding the left knee this time. It's like, and I understand. I'm not gonna blame the coaches for this, but if you know he's already got an injury with 2 minutes left, you're up two scores. Maybe you do sit him down. I don't know. I'm not going to blame them for the injury, but I just thought it was no way with 2 minutes left that the Jets was coming back. So maybe you want to get your older guys out of there, but when you look at it, Nate Herbert comes in, his first snap is a 20-yard loss. You know what I mean? So I kind of get what they're saying, but to look into the future, and we're going to talk about this a whole lot more on BBP. I'm pretty sure you're going to talk about it on your page. I'm going to talk about it on my page. We're going to have to look at who was going to take the helms from Kelsey, because that is when he goes off the field, everything changes. Everything. It's kind of like Brandon Graham. When Brandon Graham has been, since he's been off the field, we have took a dip. You know what I mean? So to lose him, we're gonna like it's just a rule. You're gonna lose a player. You know what I mean? Whatever time it is, you're gonna lose him. But who is going to take the helms? And to me, that is a scary sight. You know what I mean? Because I ain't gonna lie, Nate Herbert ain't it. Nate Herbert is not it. And maybe he can get better with more reps and more snaps. But at center, I don't know. Me personally, I understand Landon Dickerson is already solidified in his spot at left guard, but maybe I would have to take a look at him.
I think what becomes important now is it's the depth of the offensive line, because with Seumalo down, with Brandon Brooks down, and with I almost said Dickerson, my bad, and with Driscoll down, we're down 3 interior linemen right there alone. So, I mean, I don't know what they're going to do there. I mean, no matter what, you're going to be playing guys that you probably didn't envision getting the kind of snaps you're going to be giving them inside. I mean, I think it's just a fact right now. But with that said, man, like it's a big deal because you could probably do some things to replace Kelsey in some ways, but there's an aspect of him reading the defense and adjusting the line slides that I don't know gets replaced by anybody on this football team. There was one play in particular I noticed it because there's been a lot of talk about are these receivers signaling the quarterback to let them know when their guy's coming free. And I saw Kelsey just take charge of that and be like, "Hey, out here, look, boundary side, they're coming." And that's something that, like, I don't know, man. I don't know if that guy is out there, and we have that guy in that solution per se right now. So that's something that's got to be, kind of be worked out. And then add on to it that I don't know the severity of Miles Sanders' injury. We kind of got beat up a little bit in this game, even though we won it pretty convincingly. In my opinion, it wasn't nearly as close as the score might indicate. I think we really let our foot off the pedal, just trying to basically, save face for them, not make it really ugly. I'm worried about some of the bangs that we took up because Washington's a different challenge. Washington's a much different challenge following the bye, but we do have the bye week, so maybe that gives us that extra time frame to get some of these guys back. I'm hoping that neither of those, in particular, I'm hoping that the Kelsey injury and the Miles Sanders injury are not significant injuries. That those are just small things. You know what I mean? Like nothing major, little sprain here or there that just needs 10 days of healing, and they're going to be good. I mean, I don't know, man. What were your thoughts when you saw the injury to Sanders? I mean, did it look egregious to you?
It did at first, but then he got up and he was hobbling. I'm hoping it's an ankle sprain. And but the way he grabbed it, I thought he tore like his ACL or something. But then he grabbed his ankle. To me, from what I know from being injured like that, if your ankle is not twisted all the way around,
Mhm.
it can be tendons. It's tendons in there, but I don't think it was tendons. To me, I do think it's an ankle sprain, and maybe he can come back next week. But we can't forget that we still do have Jordan Howard on the shelf. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's not the bypass Miles Sanders. Shout out to him. He finally got that 100 yards. You know what I mean? That everybody been asking
Yeah.
for. He did do that, and I thought he made some very, very good decisions. In the beginning of the game, I thought he was being Miles dancers. He was dancing around and all that. But I think when Gainwell came in and started hitting them holes and got that touchdown, he said, "All right, that's what I'm doing." And he did that. He just hit the hole. It wasn't no dancing. And you do got to shout out this offensive line, man. I picked my player during my Mailata, and I thought he was outstanding today. I thought Jordan Mailata was outstanding today. No, I don't know if the one run where Minshew tried to run and got caught behind the line of scrimmage, if that's
Yeah.
a sack. But other than that, no sacks today.
Mhm.
One punt, and that was at the
Yeah.
end of the
It
game.
was efficient. It was efficient, man.
But we still had to have a conversation about the defense. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But right now, since we're on the offense, I got to talk about Rager, man. I'm sorry. To me, he should not be fielding punts and field goals, man. His decision making is not there. I don't know if it's up here. I don't know what's going on with the
I think
kid.
it is. I think you just said it. I think it's up here on the punt return stuff because is it me or does anyone else notice when there's a fumble, a bumble, something that shouldn't happen on the play, and he's just got to react and stop thinking, he's better. Like
Yeah,
he's
yeah, yeah,
honestly
yeah. I
better.
get. Yeah, yeah.
Like,
You're right. You're definitely right about that, Gates. But we got to understand, even in the Miracle Meadowlands #3, when Deshaun Jackson dropped the
mhm.
ball, and people are see, if people don't know, I know Gates know because he coached. If people don't know, you have zones that you run in. You know what I mean? You have lines that you run in, and that this
Yeah.
supposed to be your line, and you're supposed to get past the player that's in front of you. But when a fumble happens, those lines go like this. So it's all intertwined and everything breaks down. So he fumbled and he picked up the ball, which was good, and he ran for 20 yards. But at the same time, you're fumbling, but you're supposed to be our sure guy Because
Yeah.
when I asked the question of why is he handling the ball, why is he doing this? It was, oh, well, maybe he's a short-handed guy. Me personally, I would take a look at Gainwell, and I know that probably would mess with his confidence more.
Yeah.
But man, you can't like that decision to not catch the ball and it goes at the 1 yard line, even though we scored, it's things like that, especially right after the Jets come in and like an 80-yard and like special teams was bad. Other than Jake Elliott, the special teams was just horrible. So even though we won the game handily, it's some things we got to talk about. Definitely the defense, but special teams was not good, and a lot of that is on Jalen Reagor.
Yeah, I mean, they were pretty iffy on both sides of it. I think special teams wise, like the opening kickoff, man, like how you allow that kind of lane to open up, man. That I was like, oh boy, like man, maybe we shouldn't have been so confident pregame about this football team. That's what immediately ran through my head. I'm not gonna lie,
Right.
but I will say that at least from a coverage standpoint, it got better as the game went on. They were making smarter choices. They were a little bit more disciplined in where they were supposed to be. I know we're talking special teams, and it's a little crazy, guys, but this team it's definitely a 3 phases team, or else we're in trouble. But I'll go ahead and get into it. Everybody's here for one reason. Everybody knows exactly what we want to talk about.
We're gonna talk about it. Go
Look,
ahead, Gates.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought the young man played pretty well today, and I'm referring to Mr. Mustache, Gardner Minshew. I thought he was pretty good, man. I mean, I do think there's still look, guys, I'm not gonna lie to you. I still think there's limitations to this young man's game. But when you put him on schedule, when he's playing on schedule and he's just going through, he's reading the defenses and he's getting the ball out of his hands, you could see that this young man, he moved the offense. I mean, it was flowing. Like, I still think that I'm a little concerned about the weapons, although I thought that initially from a TV copy, I thought Watkins had a pretty good game. I thought that at least Gainwell was a contributor, and I thought Dallas Goedert. I said pregame that I thought he was the guy that was gonna go off today. This was his game. It was his game. He definitely went off, man. I mean, we had a 100-yard receiver, we had a 100-yard rusher. It was a pretty good day offensively, man. Like, I got to give him credit, man. I understand the opponent, guys. Before y'all start coming screaming at us about the opponent, we get it. The opponent's not great. We understand that, and we can get fooled by bad opponents. I get it, but all I can do is judge what was before us and what I saw, and I thought he moved the offense pretty well. I mean, it's going to be honest. Like, I thought he stayed on time for the most part. I thought when he got off schedule, I don't think it was as good. I mean, I thought there were a couple plays where it's like, hey, man, you got to get rid of that. But overall, man, I mean, like, I have no fears about that young man coming in if there's a necessity to have him play. Like, he's a very good backup, man. I mean, straightforward, this kid can play.
I agree with everything you said. Here's my, I ain't gonna say problem, but here's what I want to say. The things that I've been asked for, Gates, and you know this. You know when I talk, I say things how I feel. I've been asking for these crossing routes. I've been asking for the bubble screens in the middle of the field. I've been asked for all these things, and they finally did it. And I've been asking them to target Dallas Goedert more. It seemed like when they came into the game, the focal point was Dallas Goedert because love Devontae Smith, but right now Dallas Goedert is your best receiver. He just is. So when you look at it, I thought that the game, not the game plan, but the play calling was different.
I agree.
I seen some plays today that I did not see. Like I ain't gonna say the whole year, but for the most part of the year, I didn't see these plays. Now, once again, we are going against like the 27th, 28th ranked defense. So I get it, I understand it. But when you come into a situation and you look and you digest, and I'm gonna get into the all 22, and I'm gonna try to break down as much as I can. But when you look at Nick Sirianni and the rest of the coaching staff dialing up a one read, like in the first quarter, I thought it was just one read for Minshew and it was open. To me, I don't see that for Jalen Hurts. You know what I mean? Maybe it's him seeing the one read and taking off, or whatever the case may be. Maybe he runs a little bit too much. I don't know. But rarely ever do you see it, our teammates wide open. Dallas Goedert wide open. Devontae Smith wide open. Not Devontae Smith. Sorry, Quez Watkins on a crossing route wide open. Now the player stumbled. I get it, I understand it, but it still was a great scheme to get guys open, and that's all I've been asking for. And I'm not going to say that they changed the whole playbook, because you can in a week. I understand that, but it seemed like they was handcuffing Minshew in the first quarter and the second quarter, and it was like checkdowns, but they was wide open. Minshew played a hell of a game. I mean, when you go for 11 for 11, it looked like you played the Eagles defense. You know what I mean? So he played a hell of a game. Only had 5 incompletions, 20 for 25, 249 yards. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Like 240 something. Yeah,
I think it was 249. My thing is, when a defense is preparing for Jalen Hurts all week, they're preparing for Jalen Hurts all week, and then you throw Gardner Minshew out there, these things happen, and we see backups take advantage of that. I don't know if he is the long-term answer. I don't know if Jalen Hurts is neither. But to me, I do think Minshew is the better thrower of the football right now. I do. There's nothing I can take away from the kid from that. But I do think overall, Jalen Hurts is the better quarterback and a better prospect to be a quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles in the long term.
I think the pressure's on Hurts now. I'm not going to lie. I'll be honest, man. I don't think they're going to hand the keys to Minshew or anything like that. But I do think that this puts pressure on Hurts. But look, when Herbig oversnapped that ball, who met Herbig on the sideline and picked him up?
Yeah,
it was Hurts. It was Hurts. It still hurts his team. But I'm going to say this, and I'm going to be open and honest with you guys. Gardner Minshew played as good a first half of football from the quarterback position as arguably any other Eagle I've watched, especially of recent. He was good.
He had to have a QBR of 100, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I don't know exactly what it was, but it had to be pretty high. To be honest with you, he flutters kind of. It's called tailing. It's dovetailing. The ball flutters on him on his deep passes a little bit. He doesn't have the greatest arm strength, but what he does have is pretty sound mechanics, and he reads and gets the ball out when he's supposed to. Even the strongest arm guy, if you're late with the delivery, it's not going to look good. So I mean, he's decisive in his reads. I thought he saw the field pretty well, but the offense was simplified, right? I mean, they were coming in. They wanted him, okay, take a look over the defense, take a look at the coverage, see what you're seeing here, check the box, make the decision, make it decisive, get the ball out. I thought they were much more willing to play tighter to formation. You know, they definitely were. He attacked the middle of the field very early in this game, and Goddard went off of the middle of the field, and then that underneath screen stuff. I mean, Goddard had a big game. And I anticipated that Goddard would be targeted a lot, because that generally happens with backup quarterbacks. It's just that Goddard is not only a tight end, not only is he a big guy to throw the ball to, but he's fairly athletic. So I was like, all the things are there for Goddard to have a big, big day. It's normally what happens when backups come into the game. But I was pretty shocked that Quez was as productive as he was. I mean, I think it was only 3 catches at the end of the day, but I think like 3 for 60. And I mean, a couple of those throws, man, I mean, Quez looked pretty good in the routes and the releases and things like that to me. Now, I haven't seen, it's not all 22 analysis of it, guys. It's just me judging a TV copy. But I thought Quez looked pretty good out there today, man. I thought Quez, like, made me go, he's not quite a solid 3 yet. He's not, you shouldn't really be in a conversation as a legitimate 2 in the league quite yet. But this kid was a 6th-round pick, and he's progressing. Yes, there's still times I got into that game with the whole mesh concept. Quez messed up, man. He didn't get his depth right. He messed up on that play. But the young man, I mean, he's out there his next game. Shake it off. What's been done has been done. Shake it off and go make plays on the next game, and that's what he did. I mean, I got to give Quez a lot of credit, man. Quez was pretty good.
I can point out a lot of players that was really good, especially on the offense. Dallas Goedert, we already know. Rhaegar had a couple passes though that I like from him. A couple catches, should I say? Gardner Minshew, and I'm gonna bring up the fact of you said when things broke down. I thought that he did do a good job, even though he did get out of some trouble and holding the ball too long instead of just throwing it away, but he finally did throw it away. But it's one play, and shout out to Charles for this. He told me this before I even seen it because he was watching. I was streaming it and he was watching it. So he was like 30 seconds ahead of me. But it was one play in the third quarter, and the clock is running down, and Jalen Reagor is coming across trying to come across to for a motion play, and he stopped him at like 1 second, stopped him, and to me that's experience. You know what I mean? These are tangibles that a lot of people don't appreciate, but I do. Because right there, if that guy goes in motion, you either got to call a timeout. It was only 1 second left, so that's probably not going to happen. Or you're going to end up getting a penalty. So I do like what I've seen from Gardner Minshew, but I do got to flip the script right now, Gates. And I did text you and I asked you a question, so let me know. I got to flip the script right now and say this. The first half defense was booty juice. It really was. I can't like sugarcoat it. They was bad. And when I say they, I mean the defensive line and Nelson. Nelson was not good. Now, I hope he get a speedy recovery, whatever the case may be. But he was getting targeted. I mean, Moore was just doing what he wanted to him. Then he finally put Slay on him, and then you see what happened. He stopped him. That's his first read. And it's not there. And then Josh Sweat gets a sack. To me, I thought Jonathan Gannon, once you seen Moore was rolling, you should have been put Slay on. Shut all that noise down. This is why you pay the guy. This is why this is your lockdown corner. Go take care of the guy that is balling right now. And I thought he waited a little bit too late, but he finally did do it. And then we didn't really hear from Moore again. I mean, shout out to the defense. Second half, they scored no points. Like 0 point. I don't know if people realize that, but they scored no points. They scored 18 in the first half and none, 0, zip, donut in the second half. So no matter what team you playing, if you shut down a team for a whole half, you definitely got to look at the defense and say, yeah, you did a good job. But that first half, I'm sitting there and I'm frustrated because it's like, why in the hell is Gardner Minshew and the Jets quarterback having a shootout? Like seriously, they're not punting. They didn't punt in the first half at all. Mm-hmm. Like, what's going on here? And their kicker was horrible also. So I'm not saying the game would have looked different because of the kicker, but the first half definitely would have looked different. I mean, what did he miss? He missed. Did he miss a field goal and two PTIs? Like, so.
Yeah, he was bad.
He was bad. He was so bad. They say, you know what? We're not even going to use you. They didn't even use him in the second half. I mean, they really couldn't because the defense definitely finally clamped down. But when they got opportunities in the second quarter, they didn't even use them. No, we're going for it on fourth down. Once again, I needed APB out on Hargrave. He did make a good play that caused that interception. I'm going to say that. That's not going to be on the stats. But I need more.
He got a half a sack.
Huh? You said what?
He got half a sack on one too.
Yeah, whatever. But I'm just saying, like, when I'm looking when I'm looking at this, it's like one of y'all are getting one of y'all are getting single coverage, and y'all need to dominate that. Either if it's Fletcher Cox, I know that he came out, he went in, came out, whatever the case may be, but he was playing. Derek Barnett, I ain't see nothing from him today. Josh Sweat did get a sack, but I thought that was because you finally put Darius Slay on more, and that was the first read. So to me, man, this defense is a head scratcher to me. I understand they shut them down the second half, but I'm scratching my head. I'm scratching my head on this defense, Gates. I don't know about you.
I mean, the passive stuff in the beginning of the game where it was just really soft zone. And then to kind of mix it in is that they really weren't getting enough pressure early in the game. And look, this kid is prone to make mistakes. The quarterback there, Wilson, if you get pressure on him, as we learned, he'll make a mistake if you get pressure on him. But if you just allow this kid to sit back there, he's got a good arm. He's going to pick you apart. And I agree with you that it shouldn't have taken as many series as it took for them to realize, like, hey, man, okay, like we came in with one game plan. We were wrong. We got to switch this up and get this kid, knocked out of a comfort spot. We got to move this kid a little bit. And I agree with you. They didn't. It took a little too long to make that adjustment. At the end of the day, I'm not going to harp too much on the defense because they held them under 18 points. But I get what you're saying, Reese. If this had been a different team, a better offensive team, this could have been a lot higher than 18 points. It could have been pretty bad.
Yeah, that's basically what I'm saying. Because when you look at the Washington football team is way better than the Jets. Now, I'm not saying that they're better than us, but at the same time, if you're even, then you're leaving. So if you are facing an even team and you do what you did in the first half, defensive wise, it's going to be trouble. Like, you can't let any quarterback in the NFL, we might say he's trash or we might say he's not good, but he's in the NFL for a reason. If you give any quarterback a situation to where as though they can survey the whole field and there's no pressure in them because you're not sending any blitzes, and I can't wait to look at the blitz count because I know it's not high, and you're not sending any blitzes and getting guys off their spot, they're going to pick you apart. That's what's going to happen. So, to me, Jonathan Gannon got to figure out what he's going to do. It seemed like, but it's crazy. It seemed like he played more aggressive when he had McPherson in, other than Nelson. And Nelson was bad. I'm talking about bad. Avonte Madness gave up a big play. Yes, he did. But Nelson I know how you feel about the guy even before we got it. But I'm finally seeing the light. Like, and it took me the last couple of games to see it. He's not good. They're going to have to find somebody in this draft to be that second guy and find another guy because Slay in his 30s. So it ain't like we got a spring chicken over there. So my thing, and I've been saying this, those first 3 picks, and it looked like Carson Wentz is he in the zone right now. Hopefully, he keep playing. And it looked like we're going to have 3 first-round picks. I'm going all defense. And I might, and it looked like I might have to change. I was saying get 2 defensive ends in a corner, but you still need a safety also. So I might go defensive end, corner, and a safety because this defense got to be polished. And then I would get, like you were saying earlier in the pregame, Gates, I would try to find a guy on the offensive end, wide receiver, a possession guy, because you have every other thing at wide receiver. You got your speed guy.
Right.
You got your guy that your shifty guy in Rhaegar, who I think you should use differently, but hey, that is what it is. And you have a young possession guy, but he's just not height-wise possession, but he can be your number one wide receiver in Devontae Smith. And then you got Quez Watkins, your speed guy. If you get a veteran, I've been saying get a veteran for the longest. I was saying that before it even started, before the season even started. So if you get you a guy, a veteran guy, I was saying get Larry Fitzgerald. That was my guy that I thought that they should have went after, and he's still not even in the league now. So I would have got that guy. You had to find a guy for the offense, for the wide receivers, and your first 3 picks got to be on defense.
Yeah. Meadowland Minshew. Look, man. No. Simply put, no. I haven't seen enough from a bad Jets defense, man. I'm look. I'm impressed with the production we had out there today, but I mean, that would be like making that final determination solely based upon the Atlanta game with Hurts. Some of it has to do with your opponent, man. Look, he read the field well, I thought, from the TV copy. And like I said, I got to have time to see the all 22 guys, see the coaches film on it, analyze concepts and scheme and things like that. With that said, the young man played really well. I don't think that this one game is changing the determination of anything, but I spoke very firmly about what I thought, which is it clearly adds pressure to Jalen Hurts because, number one, the team was pretty pumped up for Minshew. They wanted him to have this opportunity. He's clearly well liked in the locker room. I could see that from the sidelines and from the way these guys were reacting on plays. Clearly, that young man is very well liked by the locker room. There's no denying that. You could see that same way that we saw kind of the way the team had fun with Hurts last year when he stepped in. With that said, I also saw elements of leadership from Hurts where you got Herbig oversnapping the football. The young man was distraught. He was very upset with himself. He knew he made a big mistake. Hurts is out there as the leader, picking him up, saying, hey, young man, it's good, man. We still won the game. It's all good. It's all good. Let it go. Like, I don't know what's going to happen, guys. I'm your best friend in this evaluation because I'm not tied to either quarterback. I have no allegiance to either one of these quarterbacks. I'm honestly going to give you honest assessment from the film. Me personally, I just want the Eagles to pick a guy that has a shot at putting them over the hump and doesn't waste 3 picks on a guy. That's my biggest concern is I don't want the Eagles going out there wasting 3 first-round picks and then not building the rest of the roster around the quarterback. With that said, no, sir. No, I wouldn't say that one game is going to sway me one way or the other. I was happy with what I saw. I was happy with what I saw from Minshew. I thought that when he played on time with the offense and things were easy 1, 2, 3 read progressions to where, like, okay, the defense is giving me this. This is where the ball needs to be. I thought he made the right calls from the TV copy. Look, I'm happy for the young man today. But organizations aren't going to make that kind of decision in that kind of movement that fast. It's just not the way it works. And like I said earlier, guys, to me, it doesn't matter if it's Jalen Hurts or if it's Gardner Minshew. It's still the same conversation because you're still dealing with the aspect of how committed is the organization to the player. I don't think that the narrative necessarily changes in terms of the long-term outlook. I think we can have the conversation about, hey, man, we see this from Minshew now that Hurts really does need to progress a long ways in terms of reading and diagnosing plays and getting the ball out. I think that's all factually true, guys. But I don't think it moves the needle at all on the overall determination of this team, say in 2023 at that position, 2024. You get what I'm saying? Like, what did you get from it, Reese?
What did I get from what he just said? What he asked?
Yeah, like the whole Minshew thing and in this front office. And
I mean, it's one game against probably the worst team in the league, other than the Lions, who won today, and I'm so mad I lost money on that, but that's a different story. I'm not over excited. I'm not going to get over ecstatic about it. Just like when Jalen Hurts won against the Saints, I said the same thing. I'm not going to get over ecstatic about it. And once again, people have to understand when defenses plan for a quarterback the whole week, and then that quarterback doesn't play, it's like a slap in the face to them because it's a different like if there was any two quarterbacks that are totally opposite, it's Jalen Hurts and Gardner Minshew. Like it's not even close. So I think we need to understand that, and they probably didn't look at any tape of Gardner Minshew. But I can say that the offensive minds put together a good game plan. They really did. From running the ball to getting Dallas Goedert open to comeback routes. And Antonio, I seen your list of wide receivers. I'm gonna get to that, but I want to bring up.
As I'm getting there, I'm trying to leave your comments up long enough so people can actually read them, but I'm getting to them all.
I got you. I'm getting a Harry Poole and 514. He said Minshew may be a victim of the Jags' dysfunction. I can agree with that because you look at a guy like Jared Goff, even though they finally traded him because he couldn't get them over the hump, but he looked way better than he did with a Jeff Fisher. And a lot of that is just a new atmosphere. You know what I mean? I mean, even Carson Wentz had the worst season of his career last year. Had a bad season. But then you look over there now at the Colts and they can go to the playoffs. And we can get a first round pick because it looked like he's being healthy. So a lot of it can be the fact of the matter of just being in the right spot at the right time, because we've seen a quarterback here be at the right spot at the right time and win a Super Bowl. But then he goes somewhere else and he's booty juice. So we got to understand. I do definitely get what you're saying, Harry. But I just don't think it was enough for me to say, yeah, that's my guy. I can't overreact to a one game. I'm not even overreacting to this season for Jalen Hurts. I'm still saying that he needs more evaluation. So I'm definitely not going to go with one game from Gardner Minshew. Go ahead, bro.
Just a few comments I see kind of here, like Cognac. I'd rather beat a bad Jets than lose to a bad Giants. I agree with what you're saying, but let's not mistake things, man. The Giants' defense is far better than the Jets, man. Like, we were talking about two completely different categories of defensive play here. And the Giants have been in every game, to be fair. The Giants were not losing games in blowout fashion. Like, they had been fighting through there. I don't believe in the Giants head coach. I don't believe they got the right guy as a signal caller at quarterback. I agree with you. There was no way we should have dropped that game last week. Hurts was a part of the reason why we dropped that game. There's no doubt about it. He absolutely contributed to that. But I'm not going to, I think it's way too soon to start moving because, look, we have not seen Gardner Minshew match up against a better defense yet. I don't know what to think about that yet, guys. I mean, I don't even think we're going to necessarily get the opportunity to see that, just because I think the schedule is fairly lax down the stretch, minus those Washington games. But to be real with you, Jalen Hurts had Washington on the ropes last year. Let's just be honest. He had him on the ropes last year. There's a very good chance if we don't pull Hurts, we probably could have walked out of that game with a victory. I'm not going to say anything's definitive, but Hurts had him on the ropes, and it wasn't like he was throwing the ball very well in that Washington game. They couldn't handle his athleticism. So, I mean, I don't know that we're even going to see the opportunity for that narrative to even play out. I think if you want to talk about what it does to the front office and their evaluation of Hurts as the long-term solution, I think that's fair. But I don't think it's necessarily that they're looking at this and thinking like, oh, we're going to swap in Gardner Minshew after the bye week. And to me, I don't see evidence of that. I mean, I'm just being honest, guys. I'm not doing it because I favor one guy over another. I'm telling you the truth. I don't see evidence of that.
I don't neither. I don't. And to me, for a franchise that's just trying to turn over a new leaf, a new regime, or whatever you want to call it, a new norm, as Doug Peterson would say, you just can't you can't come into it with a quarterback controversy. You really can't. And I think it's just us as Eagles fans painting this narrative that it's a quarterback controversy, but I don't think it's like that in the locker room. I think that everybody understands right now this is Jalen Hurts' team until things go wrong or until they make another decision or until, which I wouldn't do, but who knows what Howie Roseman would do. Getting a Lamar, or I don't think Aaron Rodgers would come here, but getting one of them other guys that's trying to get out of their situation. But other than that, this is Jalen Hurts' team. So we got to understand, and I definitely appreciate Gardner Minshew for getting us in that seventh spot. You know what I mean? I mean, at the end of the day, literally at the end of the day, we probably won't be there. I don't know, because of Oakland and I'm watching the game now, Oakland and Washington. But right now, if everything, as much as we want to talk about how bad this team is, the NFC is just as bad. Because right now, if everything stopped, we would be in the playoffs right now. And not only that, if you keep winning, I'm looking at the 6th seed, and that's right there too. So I'm just saying, man. I think Jalen Hurts gives the best opportunity to win. I get what Gardner Minshew did, but it wasn't like he lit up the scoreboards. Did he have good completions percentage? Yes. A lot of them guys were open, and a lot of them were schemed open, but he made those throws. You can't take away from him. But at the same time, it's not like we're sitting here talking about a guy that threw for 500 yards with 5 touchdowns. So
Yeah.
what are we really talking about here? I like Gardner Minshew, and like I said, I appreciate what he did, but he didn't light up the scoreboard for us. That running game took over. And he made the plays that he was supposed to make. I ain't got no problem with that. But that doesn't mean that we're just supposed to say, this is our starter now. No, we got to stop doing that. We got to stop. We got to stop making it a controversy when it don't need to be. Jalen Hurts is a starter, and Gardner Minshew just played a good game.
Yeah.
That's it.
Cognac, I agree that the Jets are a better offensive team than the Giants. I have more faith in Wilson as a quarterback than Jones. I think their receiving core, as I said in the pregame, was underrated. Defensively, man, come on, stop playing Cognac, stop. That's not even a conversation. Like, come on, man.
But it don't. But here's the thing with that, Gates. That don't matter to me. People got to understand it's division games. Division games get ugly. We just seen the Vikings lose to the Lions, who have no wins. That's just what it is. It's division games. It's guys that you've been playing against for years. The coaching staffs and all that, they know these players. They know these players. So sometimes things like that happen. And Jalen Hurts had a bad game. And it's crazy because I don't think we're having this conversation if that Giants game didn't happen. If he didn't throw three picks, I don't think we're having this conversation right now. The man had a bad game. Now, I'm not up here telling y'all that Jalen Hurts is the future and yada, 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 whatever the case may be. I'm telling you, overall, from what I have seen from Jalen Hurts and Gardner Minshew, I think that Jalen Hurts is overall the better quarterback and a better fit for what we got going on, especially with the rushing attack. So,
I agree.
I don't know, man. Like I done got phone calls, Texas tweets, all that. People telling me about. Yeah, I done got it all. I disagree, but Hurts has to develop because Minshew did some good things. He did, Antonio. He did do some good things. I'm not taking away from that. I appreciate what he did. But at the same time, let's not try to act like Jalen Hurts hasn't done good things neither. We're so short-minded. As soon as a guy has a bad game and then the backup has a good game, it's oh no. Now, what happens if you bench Jalen Hurts? I'm speaking just in I'm just saying. You bench Jalen Hurts, right? And Gardner Minshew comes in as your starter. And the Washington football team, who have a good a defensive line, right? A Washington football team can actually say, oh, this is our guy that we can feast on, whatever the case may be. And this guy gets sacked 7 times. Now what y'all saying? He gets sacked 7 times and we lose. So now, now what are y'all saying?
Hey guys, I'm gonna put the link. I'm gonna put the link in the chat, guys. I can't. It's hard to keep up with the comments and kind of like I need some of you guys come on in and talk, guys. It'd be easier for me to keep up with the chat and answer questions as they come to me because like it's hard to do all 3 of those things at once. So I'm gonna throw it in the chat. Y'all come in, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it in my chat too. That's what I asked you. I ain't never. All right.
But yeah, I mean, look, I mean the pressure's on coming out of the bye week. You got a bye week to prepare for Washington. I mean, I agree, guys. Hurts has to. I won't say Hurts has to beat Washington because it's not like one player dictates that. Hurts has to play well against Washington. I agree with that narrative, guys. I mean, I'm not disagreeing with that narrative. He has to be good against Washington. Like, there's pressure on him. I don't think there's any doubt about that, man. I definitely think that's true. I mean, there's going to be pressure on him, man. But I also think that, look, I think the kid has a shot. What's up, Eagles champ one?
Hey, what's up, man? Hey, listen. A lot of people getting upset with me because I said this one. I think that Gardner Minshew today played better. And a lot of people are getting upset because, obviously the quarterback controversy. But I'm just say this one. He looked pretty good. He looked like a quarterback that went through his reads today. He looked like a quarterback that knew where to throw the football. Was he perfect? No. But I'm saying this one. Hurts, he has timing issues with the football. He doesn't throw it accuracy. And that's my issue with Jalen Hurts. Can he be that way? Obviously. But a lot of people, shout to JC Eagle, but he got upset with me when I said, listen, I'm starting Gardner Minshew right now as my quarterback going number 1 right now. I'm not saying he could be the guy going forward. I'm just saying right now what I saw next week versus the Washington football team, Gardner was my guy right now. And I'm not saying that Hurts can't be this guy. I'm just saying I think he needs to sit down and watch Gardner and see what he can learn from him. Because I think right now he's inexperienced where to throw the football. And that's just being real. I saw a lot of good things. His defense obviously stinks. And Jonathan Gannon needs to go. I'm done with the scheme. I think it's awful. These picks are very important coming up for the Philadelphia Eagles, which is really, really concerning because now I don't think Jalen Hurts was hurt. I think they benched Jalen Hurts to see what they had in Gardner Minshew. And that's just being real. I think they benched Jalen Hurts. Because you tell me an ankle injury he's not he's ready to go and you benched him. You pretty much wanted to see what you had in Gardner Minshew. And that's what you saw today. It is what it is. That's what I saw. I saw a guy that was able to use his arm and throw with accuracy. Was he the best arm athlete? No. But he was able to hit his targets when stride. And you saw a lot of plays from Quez Watkins catching the ball. Goddard had a good day. I think Sanders had an okay day. He got to stop. My concern is can he stay healthy? Because this guy he's been going down most of the time, different games, and I'm glad he walked it off. But I saw a team that was able to rally around the quarterback. I saw I saw a team that used the quarterback's strengths, and the coaches were able to use his strengths. Nick Sirianni is getting better with the play call. He does some foolish stuff in play calling? Yes, but you saw with a quarterback that's able to use his arm with accuracy. Does he have the best arm? No, but I saw a quarterback that was able to make throws when he had to. I saw a game manager, and I'm okay with that. He didn't try to throw it in double coverage. He just took what the defense gave him, and he was able to see it, throw it, next play down. Throw it away when he had to. He threw it away. He didn't try to make something out of nothing. He didn't try to be a superhero. He gave what he saw what the defense gave him, and he took what the defense gave him, and he moved it forward. So I like what Gardner Minshew does. Do I think he's the franchise quarterback? I don't know. I'm not going to go overboard saying that. But right now, he's better with throwing accuracy than Jalen Hurts. And a lot of people get upset with me because they think, they think Gardner Minshew should stink so it can prove that Jalen Hurts is a better quarterback. I just want this team to win. I want this team to be, able to win a football game without, saying, do we need a quarterback or not? I hope Jones can come through. I think that guys just experience and need to sit down and learn from Gardner Minshew. But that's all I had to say today. This defense obviously stinks. Gannon is horrible. Once
Hey,
again,
champ, because hold on, because you all over the place right now. I got a rebuttal before I forget what you was talking about. All right, let me ask you this: you said that Gardner Minshew, you know what I mean? Yo, that to you too, man. You know you my guy, man. First time I ever seen you without a hat too. I didn't even know you had hair. You know what I mean? But you said that Gardner Minshew, he was conservative with the ball. He got the ball out when he needed to. Yada yada yada.
Mm-hmm.
You don't think that was the game plan? They told him to do that? I do. I think that they told him,
too.
Don't lose this game. No, I actually think that was the game plan. Don't lose this game. Don't put the ball in harm's way. And we're going to. Let me ask you this: did you see more guys being schemed open than you have ever this whole season?
Yeah.
When you see Dallas Goedert wide open, you see Quez Watkins wide open.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen that all year. Have you?
No, I haven't.
Exactly.
So
that's from. It was easier for Minshew.
And you know why that's happening,
I'm not
right?
taking nothing. I want people to understand when I say what I'm saying, I'm not taking nothing away from what Minshew did. But I'm telling you, Jalen Hurts has a harder time because of the scheme, because everything is up and out. Because you want to know why? Because they're trying to open up the field for him to run instead of using the middle of the field for him to pass. Now, you can rebuttal and say, well, they're using a guy to his strength. I get that. I understand that. But if you don't let this guy use the middle of the field, we don't know what his strength is. I think that this coaching staff has not put Jalen Hurts in the best predicament to use the middle of the field, like use Dallas Goedert. Dallas Goedert had 2 targets. He had 2 touchdowns today. That's a problem to me. Now, it's not a problem today, but it's a problem. It was a problem, and I said this in the pregame. You can ask Nate. It's a problem that Dallas Goedert only had 2 targets, and 3 targets, and Devontae Smith only had 1. That's a problem. So now we're seeing these guys. It looked like they said, Dallas Goedert is your guy. This is your guy on this play. You throw to him, we're going to scheme him open, and that's what happened. I don't see that with Jalen Hurts, and to me, that's a problem.
And you remember what Jeff Lurie said? He don't because we're hearing reports obviously from Jeff McClain, and I know a lot of people don't like Jeff McClain, but this guy's been a very good reporter when it came out for many years. So I believe him that Howard Roseman doesn't like Jalen Hurts. I believe it because we know this guy is always wanted. I mean, there's reports that they still are interested in Deshaun Watson. You know what I'm saying? They're interested in Russell Wilson. They want a quarterback that can throw. They want that pass-happy offense that we saw in Kansas City. That's what Jeffrey Lurie wants. And he stated many times he wants the pass-happy offense. And thing that I'm seeing is that Gardner Minshew, he doesn't have the best arm, but he can make the throws, especially with his accuracy. He can make those throws. You know what I'm saying? Was he perfect today? Was he Joe Montana? No. There was sometimes where the receivers had to go up and get the ball. But I saw him read his reads, go through his reads, and able to complete the throw. And I can't say that for Jalen Hurts because I've seen many times where Jalen Hurts goes either his right or left, where he tries to run instead of looking downfield and seeing an open target. Like, for example, today, Quez Watkins, he went from one way to another. He saw Quez Watkins was down there. He was able to throw.
I like that. I like that a
I
lot. He
haven't
turned
seen
it
that from
up.
Jalen Hurts.
I like
And
that.
I hope he can be that where he can be able to see that and learn from it. I think sitting down with
I'm not gonna
Hurts
say
can
I
learn
haven't
from
seen
it.
from Jalen Hurts. I have seen it. Him scramble and actually not run, but throw the ball. That touchdown at Dallas Goddard in week 4 was like that. Like, I understand that it's what have you done for me lately. We're saying that, but I can't sit here and say that Jalen Hurts is not doing that. That touchdown, when it looked like it wasn't a touchdown catch, Dallas Goddard made a hell of a catch. It was his last touchdown before the day. But that was a scramble, and he threw the ball. Jalen Hurts did. So I can't say I don't see that from him.
Do you think we're
I'm not
seeing the
going to
exact
lie
same
to you.
thing? Sorry.
So what?
I was saying, do you think we're seeing the exact same thing what we saw with the Carson Wentz situation? How players don't want to play for Jalen Hurts now? Because it's weird that
No. You can tell. You can tell. You can tell that they rally around this kid, and even Gardner Minshew, like they said at the beginning of the live, the first person to go over there and congratulate Gardner Minshew when he threw the touchdown was Jalen Hurts. So even though Carson Wentz did do the same thing, but I don't think that
well,
this team, because if I'm gonna go over how many people lost how many games, it's more the defense to me than Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts, and once again, we're coming off a 3. Well, he's coming off a 3 interception game. So this is why this is so effed up right now. Because
Hurts reminds you
the
of Ben
last time you
Simmons.
see Jalen Hurts, he was not good.
Keep going,
And then
Dave.
Gardner Minshew comes in, he's 11 for 11, 2 touchdowns, the Dallas Goddard, and it's like, oh, this is our guy now. But that's not how the NFL works. But I know.
Do you agree with that? Do you agree with that statement right there? Hurts is Ben Simmons.
I think it's I think it's a great analogy. No, not necessarily. I think it's kind of harsh. I mean, I love the analogy. The analogy
it's not
was,
because I'm gonna tell you why it's not a good analogy. Yeah. It's not that Ben can't shoot; he won't shoot, and it's not like Jalen Hurts won't throw the ball. So that's not a good analogy.
I'm not saying it's a good analogy.
I went to my man, and I don't know if is he still here? What happened to
him?
him?
He's somewhere. Hang on. He just kind of put on to another.
They said that Howie Roseman supposedly doesn't like Jalen Hurts, which probably is the case. But here's my thing: if the owner gives into the GM, then to me this owner's weak, in my opinion.
Wait, what am I looking at?
Without knowing what I'm gonna have.
It's the ceiling. It's moving up towards the ceiling. Hey, what's up, buddy? How you doing, man?
Chance, I get what you're saying, but I can't go that route because first of all, you picked him in the second round when you had more holes in a Jamaican tank top on your offense, but you chose to get this guy in the second round, and not only that, you called him the next Russell Wilson.
Yeah,
so
this guy right here called him that.
Yeah. So I can't say that he don't like the kid or whatever the case may be, but we gotta understand that
we better not draft any offense. Really, we need to go all defense because this has to be a defense. And my worry is that they and shout out to my guy Bobby Murphy. I was on the phone with him and we were talking, and he was sitting there saying that he thinks that they benched him because they wanted to see what they had at Minshew because they want to see what long-term quarterback they can get. And we see the scouts, we see Howie with the binoculars, and people say it's far-fetched, looking at Pickett and Howe. And then there's rumors of Deshaun Watson possibly coming and Russ Wilson. It scares me because these 3 first-round picks you need because this defense is absolute trash. I mean, we were getting ran on, thrown on. If Zach Wilson was more accurate today and they played a game someone like Aaron Rodgers in the game instead of Zach Wilson's a rookie, we would have got destroyed because that defense absolutely was horrible, except Darius Slay, who I think played great today. Nelson, I'm not a fan of. We don't have pass rush. I think Josh Sweat's average. I don't think he deserves all that money. He jumps off sides, which, that needs to stop. If you're going into playoffs, you can't jump off sides and stuff like that. You don't have any pass rush really. This is an important draft, and like I keep on saying, I don't trust the GM doing it.
I got you.
You can't have this guy here next year. You just can't.
Well,
You got to get it someone who knows football.
like I told you before, and on IG when you text me, I told you this
Yeah.
dude's not going anywhere.
Well, my other account got suspended, so I'm on Eagle
Oh,
Champ 5.
no. I'm just saying. You used to text me all the time,
Yeah.
and you just text me about Howie Roseman, and what I'll tell you, he's not going anywhere.
I know that.
He saves Lori money, even though he pushes it back. But in the upcoming years, now things are expanded. Now it's more money, so he knows how to. He knows how to. I don't want to say. I don't want to say play with the cat, but he does know how to do that, and he did win a guy a championship. Like in 2017, every last thing that he did hit. So I don't see this guy going anywhere. I'm not gonna lie to you. Me personally,
Defense,
I would try
that's
to
a
bring
good
in
question.
somebody else to draft
Mhm.
and let him just take care of the cap. That's your thing. You can, even if you just want the general manager's a title, you can do that. But we gotta let this what's his name, Gates? We gotta let him
Hit the
talk.
button.
You
I
know
just
what I
got it
mean?
on pause.
You
You
said
hit
what?
the button. I just had it on pause.
I don't know what he's saying.
Nice. No, I think it's up to his kid.
Well,
Yo,
that's
bro.
a good question. Why do we fight for Hurts? Well, because he's a second round pick, and you want him to succeed. Because if that pick does not work well, then it goes back to obviously the GM's not going to be held accountable, but it's just another pick that we waste. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You have
Marcus,
to.
what?
He has to
You still
work
with
out.
us? Man?
Yeah, what's up?
Hey,
What's
what's
good,
going on,
Marcus? So
bro?
what do you think about all this, man?
I think as usual, a lot of our fans they get too complacent with stuff, man. Like Gardner had a good game. He played a great game. First half especially. He played great. And give him his kudos. But you're playing against the Jets, man. You're playing against the Jets. You think he'd be able to do something like that against a Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense? A great defense?
Yeah.
I don't think so. Not to mention, the Jets didn't game plan for him. You got to put that in perspective also.
Huh?
I'm tired of
Okay.
hearing people sit there and make it seem like Hurts don't be doing stuff. Like he's part of the reason why we got the wins that we have.
But that's the city of Philadelphia. I mean, they done this with Carson and Foles, and I knew when Minshew was going in, it was going to happen. I hope Hurts works out. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, he can throw with accurate, and I hope Hurts learned and saw what Minshew did. Because if Hurts is a learner and he's able to see that, then he's like, all right, I can take some of that from Minshew and I can put that in my game.
Right.
And be able to contribute. Because I like Jalen Hurts. I like his ability to run,
Right.
his leadership. I like everything off the field. I just want him to be.
I think you gotta actually slow down with the running first and take
Yeah.
the time to really see the field better and start trying to throw his receivers
Mhm.
open, not try to wait until they get open and then throw the ball. Sometimes you gotta try to throw your receivers open and give them a time to catch the ball and make a play. That's
Mhm.
one thing that he doesn't do a lot also.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I mean, I can't like, and this is gonna be a test because I'm sure Jalen Hurts is gonna be cleared.
But hold on. I get what you're saying, bro. You definitely right. But once again, the complaciveness that you said, we have to understand that come with reps. That come with being the quarterback for a while and
Right.
experiencing the NFL speed and that come with being coached up. We got to understand. Everybody wants Russell Wilson right now. I ain't gonna say everybody.
Why?
A lot of people want Russell Wilson right now, right?
He's not good. He doesn't have the arm. He's not the same
Hold on.
Russell Wilson. If you
Hold
watched
on,
him
bro.
versus the Washington football team, he was
Hold
horrible.
on, bro. Let me get to my soliloquy. Hold on. Let me
I know. I know Philly Fresh is going to come in.
The thing is, people don't understand. Russell Wilson was kind of Jalen Hurts when he first came into the league, but he had that Legion of Boom to back him. We got Legion of Doom over here. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying, he doesn't.
Though,
and it's crazy. It seemed like we don't have complete games other than the Saints game. It's like either the defense is bad and the offense is good, or the offense is bad and the defense is good, and then the defense might be okay, the offense might be okay, but special teams is ass. So we're not putting together full games. Even today, the first half, the defense was horrible. They was bad. Like special teams is horrible. How the first play you give up 78 yards
on a punt return.
And now that, like, we don't got any linebacker, bro. I'm sick of these small linebackers that are coming in. I like TJ Edwards, but Alex Singleton's too slow, bro. He's too slow.
Yeah, but
I want a guy like a Patrick
Taylor.
Queen on this team, bro.
You got to remember we lost Taylor on.
Yeah, I like Taylor.
I know that.
I know that,
but.
Nice.
But why don't you put Sean Bradley out there? Why is where's Jacoby Stevens out there?
I like Sean Bradley. He got energy and everything. I like that. I don't know why they don't put him in.
I'm sick of Alex Singleton. The man doesn't. He's not. He's more of.
He only playing 10% of the snaps, bro. He only playing 10% of the snaps. He not playing. They got rid of Eric Wilson.
Yo,
and they basically bet Singleton. You know what I mean? So I thought that they did what they were supposed to do, and in that, to me, the linebackers wasn't the problem today. It was Nelson. Nelson was horrible.
Nelson horrible, man.
Nelson Carroll. That's his name. Nelson Carroll.
Nelson is horrible. Crazy.
As soon as he go out, the Jets don't score another point.
Nelson, you know what's funny? Man.
Think about it. Nelson
I wasn't too high for him.
Jets don't score another point because they was targeting. Remember how Ronald Darby used to get targeted in 2018, 2019? It's the same thing with Nelson.
That dude be getting torched.
He is barbecue chicken at his finest. I'm talking about finger looking good. You hear me?
It's Stephen Carroll. That's his name. Stephen Nelson Carroll. I'm telling you. People thought I was crazy when I say he reminds me of Nolan Carroll. The guy, every time you hear a PI call, it's who? It's Nolan Carroll. With Nelson, it's like every time it's a PI call, it's not Darius Slay. We know Darius Slay don't get those. They don't target him that much. And shout out to Darius Slay. I think he needs more of a raise than Nelson because he should take Nelson's paycheck and give it to Darius Slay because Darius Slay's our best corner right now. Along with, I think that Vontae Max played good, but Nelson stinks, dude. That's why I think, that's why it goes back to, obviously, what are we going to do on draft day? Because honestly, it's like, I don't know if we're going to draft a corner or trade for corner, but we need another one on the other side.
We need to go heavy, super duper heavy on the defense. I would say in the free agency, try to grab like a veteran receiver, like an Allen Robertson or somebody like that. You know what I mean?
Wouldn't that be fun? Wouldn't that be fun? That would actually be nice.
You know what I mean?
A confident receiver.
But we definitely got to build our defense up. Running back, I like our running backs. I like our tight ends. Our offensive line is dope. We probably need a couple defensive ends.
All right. So that's where we stabbing at right now, because I'm glad that you just brought up the running back situation. Miles Sanders is coming into his last year. This is not his last year, but next year will be his last year on contract.
Right. I'm not paying him. Paying him.
You're not paying him?
No, I'm not.
Wow.
I'm not. Because to me, running backs in the league are expendable. And I don't know the last time anybody paid a running back that actually worked out. Okay, we can say Zeke maybe, but Zeke, for a while hasn't been the same. You know what I'm saying? But
Derrick Henry got paid.
Yeah, well, Monsters not Derrick Henry. And
but you just said that you don't know, and I'm just giving you one.
Okay, well, like I said, man, I'm all for drafting another running back because I think running backs are expendable. And that's my issue.
I like
Miles Sanders
Gainwell though.
also.
I actually
do
like
too.
Gainwell.
I
Gainwell.
like
Part of
I
it
like
is
Gainwell. I like
Miles Sanders'
Gainwell and
ankle is
Howard.
scaring me more
I
and
like
more.
Howard and Gainwell.
I do too. And Miles Sanders' ankle injury is
and that's
scaring
what
me
I was
more.
trying to get at. That's what I was trying to get at. Would you pay Howard and bring him back? Because obviously he only
Yes,
on
absolutely,
I most
100%.
definitely
Pay
would.
Howard. You got
100% do it. Would the
Gainwell on a
Eagles do
rookie
it?
deal.
Probably
For
not.
sure.
All right, hold on.
Sorry, my bad.
You got Howard.
Mm-hmm.
You bring back Howard. You got Gainwell, who's on a rookie contract.
Right.
What do you do with Boston Scott?
You gotta let him. I would bring him back, but I think they're gonna let him walk because Game was gonna
You're
be the
going to
guy.
bring him back instead
I
of
think he
Miles
still
Sanders.
qualifies. Reese, I think he still qualifies for an RFA. I think you still get him on a restricted free agent contract. I'd probably RFA him if he still has that.
I think Scott went much just because I think he loved being with the Eagles. So, I mean, if you're going to do something, it would have to be either Howard or Sanders.
And I'm taking Howard all day because I've seen Howard. You can give him 20 to 50 carries, and that guy is
but
going
Howard
to.
is also older.
He's only 27 years old.
Yeah, and Miles Sanders only 23.
Well, who's staying healthy more? Howard or
That
Sanders?
both of them hurt. What are you talking about? They both hurt. You
So
talking
one's a
about
bruiser and the other one's not.
how the last time Howard was here, he was out for 8 weeks with a nicked up shoulder, a stinger. You forgot?
Okay.
Right.
And Sanders has been
remember,
injured with
man,
an
he
ankle
was
injury.
day-to-day
This is
for
his
18
third
months.
ankle injury.
So Philly Fresh, you like Sanders better than Howard?
Yeah. No.
I'm about to say.
Hold on. Let me tell y'all.
I like the combination of the two.
Exactly, me too.
I like the both.
Howard is the best runner of the football that we have at the running back position. Period.
Right.
Like when this guy gets the ball, it's nothing backwards. Is everything is positive.
Right.
When we talk about all around back, Miles Sanders is better than Howard. It's not even a question.
Yeah, he's a better playmaker for sure.
Yeah, he's a better playmaker. He can catch out the backfield better. And not only that, sometimes, and we've seen, let's not try to act like we ain't see that cut earlier that he made, that he was supposed to get tackled for 5 yards, a 5-yard loss. And he made that cut and it was only a 2-yard gain. But things like that, Howard can't do.
Not to mention, he's one of the top running backs.
Howard can run through people like it's water.
Yeah.
What are we talking? I'm talking about those kind of play when the defensive end is crashing. Howard can't do nothing but go forward and probably get to the line of scrimmage.
And he's going to run him over.
Not to mention, Sanders is one of the top backs that taking it to the house off of one cut and gone. He's known for doing that at any given time.
Guess, but I want a running back that will actually make content, and also hit the hole. Sanders has a tendency.
Go ahead, get in this one. I need my man to get in this one, man.
Depends on the contract value, in my opinion. So I was doing some research while you guys were talking. Here's the thing. Are we talking about a 4-year, $24.5 million deal like Austin Eckler got, that's the 10th highest contract? Are we talking about that 4 or 5 year, $90 million deal that Zeke got? Like, to me, it's not the value of the contract. You get what I'm saying? Like, I think Miles Sanders is a talented enough running back. It's just a matter of keeping him healthy and on the field. And I think that Miles Sanders and Jordan Howard complement each other very well. And I do think if you really need a Boston Scott, I think he only has 2 or 3 years. So I think he still qualifies for an RFA contract to where he can only exclusively work with us in the negotiations. So I think you can. It depends on that value of the contract, right? I mean, if it starts getting up into the top 5 money value, I'm out. I'm out if it gets that high. Top 5 is Derrick Henry, $50 million. That's when you start getting into the real big money, and that's when I don't know that the running back position has that kind of importance anymore.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you get an Austin Eckler like deal, top 10, 15-ish in that area, probably. If it's beyond that,
that's the kind of deal I think that he's going to have to take. I mean, Eagles champ brought up the injuries. Not only that, even though I don't think it's your fault, but you're not producing as much as you would like but a lot of that is not being used, and maybe that's one of the reasons why they're not using them. Maybe Howie Roseman is pulling the strings, and because we finally seen Miles Sanders get 100 yards, finally seen him get 100 yards. So it's like he can go to the he can go to the negotiation table and say, "Oh well, I did this and I did that." Well, and they can say, "Well, you didn't do this and you didn't do that. You didn't hit these milestones right here. We got milestones right here that you didn't hit."
I honestly don't think that Howie likes Sanders like that. Honestly, I think he pushing and getting him out of there. Me personally.
Why everybody think Howie don't like nobody? Oh, he took him in the second round too.
Come on, man. Howie Roseman is a clown, man. That dude that doesn't know football if he ever saw one, man. He's an analytic
I can't tell he put together. We can't act like he didn't put together. And I get it. I get it. I don't want Howie Roseman making in-game decisions. I don't want him making the 53-man roster decisions. I get that. I understand that. But at the same time, I can't sit here and not try to act like he didn't bring Darius Slay here.
Yeah.
I can't sit here and try to act like he didn't bring Hargrave here, who has not been showing up, but we know what he is capable of. I can't sit here and act like he didn't go up and get Devontae Smith.
He didn't do that. Nick Sirianni did that. He wouldn't have done that. He wanted a quarterback. Let's be real. There was rumors he wanted a quarterback.
That's made, Howie Roseman got no parts of, but every bad move that's made, that's all Howie.
So let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. If Doug Peterson was still the head coach, do you think they would have got Devontae Smith?
Probably, yeah. What you mean? Why not?
No, they wouldn't have.
Why not? They know Rager wasn't it. First of all, he was right there.
Hold up. Howie Roseman has said that Jalen Reagor and J.J. Arcega before the NFL draft, he said he believed in him. I think they pushed Howie to get Devontae Smith. I think Howie Roseman wanted Zach Wilson, the quarterback that the Jets took. Obviously, the Jets weren't going to give up the second-round pick. So he moved down. You know what I'm saying? But let's be real. I don't think he wanted Devontae Smith. I think Sirianni wanted Devontae Smith. I think Lurie wanted Devontae Smith. Howie Roseman wanted a quarterback because there was rumors that he wanted a defensive tackle. You've seen the post of Howie Roseman wanted defensive end. He wanted quarterback. He wanted Quiddy Pay, the next Brandon Graham he quoted. You know what I'm saying? You saw those reports. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think he wanted Devontae Smith because Devontae Smith is not an analytic pick. He wouldn't have been an analytic pick.
I've also seen reports that Tupac's still alive. So they reports.
I'm gonna give Howie his roses for getting us underneath the salary cap because it's not too many GMs that would have been able to do that with a roster at all. So I don't hate the dude or anything like that. I just think he made some bad decisions.
I think he's a horrible GM. I think he's nothing that you can debate.
I think he's one of the worst GMs in football.
About Justin Jefferson, Jalen Reagor. There's nothing that you can debate about J.J. Whiteside, DK Metcalf. There's nothing that you can debate about those two. You know what I mean? But I'm not going to say redeem himself, but to go up there and to get a Devontae Smith, I thought was big. I thought that was big. And that's not try to act like his whole 2018, other than Matt Pryor, has been signed and are contributors to this team. His whole 2018 draft. Did y'all know that? The whole 2018 draft is signed and started. Avonte Maddox, Josh Sweat, Jordan Mailata, Pryor they traded for a 6th-round pick. And who I'm missing? Gates?
Cindy
Sorry,
Jones?
say it again.
Did he draft him?
No, that was 2017.
That was
18.
I'm talking about 18. Josh Sweat, Avonte Maddox. That's what I'm missing. Josh Sweat, Avonte Maddox, Jordan Mailata.
That was 17. Yes, that was. And was it Matt Collins in 18? No.
But let me ask you a question.
He only had 5 draft picks, and four of them are starters right now. He only had
Well,
5.
Josh Sweat don't deserve that money. I'm sorry, I don't care what anybody says. He
I
has
mean,
not
he did
been the
before,
guy
but it seemed like I don't know what's going on right now. He definitely got to
because
step
he
up.
doesn't deserve that money. And here's the thing. Here's my thing with y'all want to talk about Howie Roseman. Yes, he did got that Super Bowl. Okay, he signed a bunch of free agents that wanted to play with Carson Wentz. Let's be real. Alshon Jeffrey did not come here because of Howie the nerd. He came here to play with Carson Wentz. Okay, I'll give him that for that Super Bowl. But since when then, what has he done? Yes, he got Darius Slay. That pretty much all he did was give him a third round pick. And let's be serious. I'd rather have Jalen Ramsey, and I'd rather have him than draft players that he is not good with. He has drafted one Pro Bowl since then. That's been Carson Wentz. Since then, he has drafted players that either are not on the team or on the team that are kick or blockers and punt returners that are not first round picks like Jalen Rager. You know what I'm saying? When you got a guy who is talking about quarterback factories, and this year said it again after trading for Minshew. He said, "We're a quarterback factory," while smirking. I'm sorry, like, just his moves in general are not helping his team. He signed free agents who suck this year. Eric Wilson, Ryan Kerrigan, I didn't want. They stink. They're horrible. They're absolutely horrible. He tries everything. He thinks he's the smartest one in the room. He doesn't listen to his scouts. The scouts are mad at him. They want to fist pump him. You know what I'm saying? It's the analytics department fighting over people who know football. Jacoby Stevens not on the field. Why is that? Because the Howie Roseman drafted him. The scouts did. Why do you think the other players that he drafted are not on the field? Because Howard Roseman drafted them. Howard Roseman drafts the players they usually are playing, like Derek Barnett, who is absolutely a bust. I don't care what anybody says. Rager is a bust. Okay. You got Sidney Jones. Why would you take a guy that torn his Achilles? Really wasn't the best corner in that draft, if you ask me. That's just my opinion.
Can I ask you a question, Eagle Champ, on a bus thing?
Mm-hmm.
Before Cordell Patterson went to Atlanta, do you know that he was drafted in the first round at number 20?
But we're not
Before
talking.
Hold on. Before he went to Atlanta, would you have called him a bust? Because I'm pretty sure a lot of people would have. But right now, he doesn't look like a bust. Sometimes it's not about where you're drafted and who drafted them. Sometimes it's about developing players and using them to the best ability. They are not using Rager to the best ability. I'm not going to say
cannot catch. He's horrible.
You said what now?
He's horrible. He's not good.
Get him the ball, whereas though he doesn't have to catch it 20 yards down the field.
But now, even when he catches, it's like he slows down his route. He's lazy, in my opinion. He doesn't know how. When he catches the ball, he stops and slows down. Many times he has an open lane where he doesn't use the jet.
That is thrown to him are short. You gotta realize that too, bro.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't understand. I don't understand why Ward ain't in the game as much.
I mean, he did last week and he dropped a touchdown.
But he's more consistent than Jalen Rager.
He got leveled on the play too in the red zone. On the interception, he was the second read, and his feet got taken from him across the middle in the end zone, and then Hurts rolled over to the right.
Short story short. The league has caught up with Greg Ward. That's just what it is. He's not athletic. He's not fast. So it's hard for him to get open. The league has caught up with him. I'm sorry. He doesn't get open anymore.
So what about Hightower?
I would have brought him up. But Howard Roseman won't put him up there because Howard Roseman is the one who could try to fit through in their roster. It's the county
really
who's trying to fit through in their roster. He's horrible.
Really hate Howie.
He's horrible. He's horrible.
So let me ask you guys a question.
Let me ask you this:
I guarantee you, Gate City Sports can draft more Pro Bowls than Howard Roseman. Right now, Gate City Sports in the draft can draft more Pro Bowls than Howard Roseman.
Was you celebrating that Super Bowl?
I think it has to do with the draft board, though, guys. Listen, in 2018, when we're crediting him for making those picks, Joe Douglas set that draft board, not Howie Roseman. In 2021. The picks that we're crediting him for was when he followed Tom Donahue and what Tom Donahue told him to do. The tension came in the third round where he picked the kid I liked. I knew who Milton Williams was. I spoke out against that pick, and I took some heat for that. And I said, we reached. I didn't have this kid graded that highly. I love the kid's athleticism. I do think there's something there. No way that's an early third-round pick. No way. The kid has a lot to learn about anchoring and shooting his hips against the run. I would try to warn everybody about that. But to me, it's about setting board and knowing. It's about knowing when to trust your coaches, knowing when to trust your scouts. Truth be told, you know why they didn't take Justin Jefferson? And why they took Jalen Reagor? And Reagor. You guys know I was a Reagor guy.
I don't know why you were the Reagor guy. That guy stinks. Absolutely horrible.
Because Reagor's college film is a lot better than what he's showing in the league, man. It was the fact that he's coming from a spread and he hasn't learned a game at this level.
Reagor to me is a slot receiver. To me,
yeah,
he's a slot
receiver. They didn't
take
Justin Jefferson, who I was a Reagor guy, and I made 2 videos saying that I thought Justin Jefferson should be the pick because I thought the kid was an exceptional route runner. The reason they didn't take Justin Jefferson was that somebody in Doug Peterson's staff told them this kid's nothing more than a slot and it would be a wasted pick. And that's why they didn't make a pick. He trusted the coaches over the scouts. The scouts told him Justin Jefferson should be your pick. The coaches told him Justin Jefferson is probably a second, third round value because he's a slot. And in reality, the irony is that the roles probably should be reversed. That Reagor's looking like the guy that's the slot, and Justin Jefferson's looking like the legit all-around weapon.
But wait a minute. Doug Peterson just said on John Clark that when they asked him about what do you think about Reagor, he said, "Why are you asking me?" So what does that say then? That means that he really. I don't even think Doug Peterson asked him part of the team.
Why are you asking me? He didn't say, "Why are you asking me?" He said, "Are you asking me?" He didn't. He was getting try to phrase the question. No, it was. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, Aaron Moorhead has a personal relationship with Monty Reagor and the Reagor family. Aaron Moorhead and other members of Doug Peterson's staff want Reagor. That's the truth.
Well, then they're dumb for that one too, and they should all be fired. I don't care. They can fire him. They can fire. I don't care who they are, because that's just stupid right there. That's football 101. You take the guy who really is the best receiver. You don't reach. Jalen Reagor is not better than Justin Jefferson. That's just stupid. I don't care what anybody says. That's just stupid thinking.
I agree.
Logically.
I agree, Eagles champion. I agree that even going back to the college film, I'm not talking about the league because it's obvious. But going back to the college film, I felt like Justin Jefferson was the better player. Mm-hmm. At that exact moment in time, I thought he was the more nuanced or out runner, a guy who you could trust to get separation. I thought Reagor had a lot of top-end talent that if you could ever get it to learn at the NFL level, it could be really intriguing. It has not. It hasn't produced. I don't think that the reach is as bad as people are saying. I don't think he was top 20-ish. We picked him at 21, so we kind of had him right at that top 20 value, and I think that was a miss. I think most teams had him valued as a late first, early second. I hear some people giving crazy estimates, saying he was a third or fourth rounder. They're full of crap. Nobody had him rated that late. Everyone had him as a late first into the second round guy.
Yeah.
He was normally hovering around top 50.
Yeah.
That's people reinterpreting the history of what transpired. I do think the Eagles, if you wanted Reagor, I do think that there's an argument to be made that you could have traded back into the first round if you had a trading partner. It takes 2 to do that. You could have traded back and gotten, if you missed Reagor, you could have got somebody else that gave you the same exact.
Or do you remember the reports that? Do you remember the reports that the Falcons were going to give? The Falcons wanted a second round pick, and we weren't going to give that up because who did we take that second round pick? That guy that we are now giving up on. Would that be Jalen Hurts? Because we didn't want to get up and get CeeDee Lamb. You know what I'm saying? After you pay the quarterback $60 million. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just like I said, like my issues with Howard Roseman is obviously he needs to stay away from the draft. And I don't think he's good with contract because he put us in debt where he restructured Fletcher Cox. So now we can't trade Fletcher Cox now. And then there was reports that he wanted to trade Fletcher Cox because he called out poor Jonathan Gann's system. This guy's not a good GM. And I don't care what anybody says. I watched this guy for many years He's not a good GM. This is the way why we are the way we are with a record, because he doesn't get players who are actually able to produce. He gets projects. He reaches for players, and I think Jeffrey Lurie is part of it too. I think Jeffrey Lurie is part of it too. He reminds me so much of Jerry Jones. I call him the Jeffrey Jones. That's his name.
I
Okay.
feel as though I do feel as though in the draft we get like second tier type players or whatever compared to like the top
Hmm.
tier people. I will say that, and that's what we got to start doing. We got to start getting some of the top tier players coming out of college
But
because
you're
they're
not going
coming
to get
from
that with
college.
Howard Roseman. The guy does not know how to run a football team. You need football guys, not accountants. He can work on the contract all he wants, but he cannot, and I repeat, not be near the facility with players. He just needs to go in general. They need to get a fresh GM who actually knows football. Like, and here's the thing: no one's going to want to come here because everybody has said that he don't get along with anybody. He's hard headed. The players lost respect for him just for trading Fletcher Cox. And this was from a guy, John McMillan, who's a very reliable reporter, saying that he wanted to trade Fletcher Cox not because of the value, because he called out Jonathan Gannon's system. Because he's the one who's telling Jonathan Gannon, in my opinion, what to do. He's the real reason why a lot of coaches didn't want to come. Brandon Stanley didn't want to come because of Howard Roseman. It's a problem with this guy. And obviously, Jeffrey Lurie's the main problem, too. They fired Doug
We
Peterson.
did have a very respectful guy here in Joe Douglas, though, and they was working
Joe
together.
Douglas stinks, too. I was not a fan of him, too. But I'll tell you one thing. I'd take him over Howard Roseman. I don't
But
like
that's
Howard
funny.
Roseman the way he is.
Joe Douglas knows how to identify
Right.
talent. Though. I mean, that 2018 board he put together was, and when you really work in the fact that how little picks we had, and the fact that every single one of those picks hit, man, that's incredible. Like I tout myself as being a guy who puts a lot of work into scouting, and I'm normally pretty good at identifying guys. Bro, hitting on every pick when you only got 5 of them, whew, man, that's tough, bro. That's some tough work.
But then we can't give Howard Roseman credit then. If Joe Douglas really did that, then I can't sit there and say Howard Roseman did it. Because that's like saying, all right, I'm going to give credit to, let's say, I did the work, but, let's say, I take Philly, fresh ideas, and I say, oh, I did it. No, you didn't. I just took I took his ideas, but I'm getting credit off that. That's not fair to Philly Fresh. That I just took, let's say I copy his channel, and then I say, oh, I created that. No, you didn't. You just took my channel, and you basically, I just took your credit. That don't make sense because you really did it. But I'm just taking your credit because I said it. It don't work like that. So I can't say he did it. If Joe Douglas really put the board together, then I can't give him credit for that. You know what I'm saying? But I've seen Joe Douglas with the Jets.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing, Eagles champ. Fair is where they judge pigs. So that happens all the time in any situation, any sport, any way of life. It's times that I'm pretty sure me, myself, Gate City, Mike, LB, Philly 500, probably even yourself has said something, and one of these beat writers will take it, and because they have more publicity, they'll say it because they heard it from one of us. That's just the way things are. Like it's messed up, but that's just how the world works. So
Well,
I do get what you're saying, but at the same time, that's just how I just think that you really got a hit out for Howie. Like I
hate him. I can't stand him.
like I want to say 2019. Really, I think if you've
Because
seen it, dude, you'll probably sucker punch him. Like that's how
I probably would.
you don't
And you
even
would
know
too.
you don't even
You
know
would
him. Like
too.
that's the crazy part. Like
You would too. Come on, you would
wouldn't.
too.
We gonna have a conversation. I would like to know what's going on.
What we also got to understand is
I ain't putting hands on that man. First of all, I'm on parole. I'll go straight back to jail. I ain't putting hands on that man. But in all seriousness, so I do want to, because I didn't hear Dan, what's your name, bro?
Marquette.
Huh?
Marquette.
I do want to know your perspective on the game. What did you see? What did you like? And who you think the quarterback should be going forward?
For me, like I said, like I feel as though Minshew did a great job in the first half. I feel as though he did a great job in the first half because they didn't take the time to study him like that. I feel as though once the second half came, they took the time to figure some things out, and he was
They adjusted.
okay. Who I think should still start as Hurts because I don't think he did anything to lose his job.
I agree. I agree. And once again, I'm gonna say it like this: if Hurts wouldn't have had the game that he had against the Giants, I know there's a lot of people calling for Minshew before, but I just think that was just the more when you got a guy that played as bad as he played, but still had a chance to win the game at the end, man. And I'm gonna say this like I
Hey,
said
Bobby
last
Murphy.
week.
Hey, Bobby, follow the link, man. I just posted the link in the thing again. I might have missed you in the background because like sometimes you got to scroll.
You want to
You,
talk about
you
a
gotta
real Eagle fan?
pin it. Gates,
You
you gotta
you
pin
want to
it.
talk about a real
You gotta
Eagle
pin it.
fan? Bobby Murphy.
Hold on, Eagle.
Man.
Hold on, champ. Gates, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you, man.
gotta
I'm trying to
pin it.
pin it. I can't pin it on here, though. Won't let me pin it.
All right.
Hey,
I got you.
Philly Fresh. You want to talk about Bobby Murphy? This guy's about to come and talk some real facts, man. Because he's going to tell you that like I'm telling you, he's a strong opinion guy.
Hey man,
but
everything
he's
I
my
spit
guy.
out is facts too. So
I see it. Hang on, Bobby. I see you now, man. I'm sorry, man. I think you were in here before, Bobby. I think it.
Yeah. What's up,
Hey,
Bobby?
what's good, Bobby? I'm sorry, man. I think I messed up, bro. I think I didn't see you on the bottom of the screen.
What's up, guys?
Good, buddy.
What up, Gate?
Not
What's
too much,
good,
man. How you doing, bud?
What up, Philly?
Yo, that.
Eagles champ? All right. So what are we talking about?
We talk about Howie, how he's a good GM. No, I'm playing.
No, I mean, no. The real conversation before we got into Howie was the fact of the matter of Gardner Minshew had a good game, but now everybody's calling for him to be the starter. And to me, I don't think that's fair because, well, like I said, fair is a place that they judge pigs, but I don't think that's the right answer. To me, you got to go with the guy that got you where you at. You know what I mean? Yeah, he had a bad game. He threw 3 picks, but still had a chance to win that game and put us in position too. A lot of that was the defense. Shout out the defense. They did not play good this evening, but still, to me, Gardner Minshew came into a situation to where the defense was not prepared for him, and you see it like and like my man Spike said. You seen a difference when they adjusted. You know what I mean? A lot of that was us being conservative too, but you seen a difference in the defense. And to me, it's just funny how everybody always wants to just hop on the.
I want to ask you a question.
What's up, sir?
The bandwagon of a backup.
It just seemed to me that Gardner knew how to just distribute the ball where it was supposed to go, right?
Spot on. Yeah, I would say that's accurate.
You know
so
what I'm
far.
saying?
Yes.
I mean, like Jalen Hurts is my dog. I'm riding and dying with Jalen Hurts, no doubt, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm saying is, he seemed to know where to go with the ball. I mean, look at some of his passes, dude. They weren't good. The receivers had to come back. I mean, Goddard was lucky to catch that one when he came back, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're talking about the first one down around the end zone.
Yeah. I mean, Gate, come on. Some of them were like all throw passes, but
Gardner Minshew doesn't have the strongest arm in the league. I mean that part is accurate.
right.
His
Right.
balls will up till they'll flutter in the air a little bit. I do
Right.
think that he still throws a very catchable ball. So the guys made a point about Jeff Garcia,
Very catchable.
and I agree and I disagree.
Right.
I don't think that Gardner Minshew is as safe with the football as Jeff Garcia was. Jeff Garcia was to the level of ridiculousness with trying to protect the football. I don't think that that's what Gardner Minshew is, but the arm is very similar. I don't know if you remember. I think he's being good enough to remember Jeff Garcia.
I think I remember him, but I think Garcia has a better arm.
I remember him well. It was Garcia Mania.
Yeah. I mean, you remember? I mean, he got guys paid. I mean, look, it's a tough situation the Eagles are in right now because here's the thing. My thing is if you put Gardner Minshew in for the remainder of the season, that doesn't have as much to do with Gardner Minshew as it does with your perspective on Hurts. Because I just can't see the Eagles sticking with a guy that only got a 6th-round pick invested in him. And they're always going to look upgrade.
What today was, can I be honest with you? Here's what I think today was. Today was about playing Minshew, right? Letting Hurts rest in their quarterback evaluation system that they have, right? And here's what's fucked up. Minshew's not the answer. And if they determine Hurts not the ansor, they're going to draft a quarterback in the 1st round, bro. Or trade for a veteran.
They're not going to draft a quarterback. They're going to go out and get Watson.
Don't want no old cat up in here. I don't want a washed up Russell Wilson. I don't want an old Aaron Rodgers. I want May Gates. I want to develop like a young prospect quarterback that's gonna, and it's not in this draft, dude. You know it's not. There's no quarterback in this draft you could hang your hat on. Absolutely not.
That's what I'm saying. I think they're going after Deshaun Watson if it does not work.
Not with the top 10 pick. I wouldn't hang my hat on any of these guys in the top 10. I like Kenny Pickett. I think Kenny Pickett has a shot, but Kenny Pickett also is an older guy. He's been in college football for a while. Max Brown, who's a guy that played with him at Pitt, he talked to me about him backstage when I did the interview with him, and he likes Kenny Pickett, but I don't know that Kenny Pickett is the answer either. I do think that if you're going to roll with Kenny Pickett, just roll with Gardner Minshew. At least Gardner Minshew has played in the league. You know what I mean? Like, we don't know what we're going to get out of Kenny Pickett. I don't know that they have the answer either, Bobby, and I don't know the answer. I don't know if this is a long-term solution. I doubt they're going to go with Minshew long-term. I mean, maybe he could serve as a bridge, but I don't think anything's going to result from this game except for pressure being put on Jalen Hurts to perform in Washington. That's what I honestly think is going to come out of this, is that they're going to probably have that honest conversation with Jalen and say, hey, man, it was an evaluation. Even if it was circumstantial, it was an evaluation, and the evaluation is you need to make reads better. You need to read the defenses better, and you need to be able to move the offense with throwing the ball.
See, I don't know if y'all saw the like I said, the Jeff McClain report, but there was rumors that, like I said, Howard Roseman didn't like Jalen Hurts, and Jeffrey Lurie liked Jalen Hurts, but wants a happy offense like the Kansas City Chiefs. And that's why I say that more and more I hear the whole Washington.
Here's what that tells me.
More and more I believe it, that they're going to get him.
Here's what that tells me. If the report was true that Roseman and Lurie were torn, right, on Hurts, Who made the pick?
Boy, it had to be. And how?
Who made the pick? Because you're always
The pick
going to
was
back your pick. Gates. Gates,
the-
you know that. You're always going to
Yeah,
back
I
your
mean,
pick. Who made the
the
pick?
owner has a hand in this. The owner
Lori.
had a hand in it because he had to sign off on it. But
Right.
it's a tough decision,
Telling
guys.
you,
I hear
bro.
like material. I hear what you're saying, buddy. I hear what you're saying. But to be fair, Mahomes was not a top 10 pick to my memory. I think he was like 12th overall or something like that. Herbert, I felt more secure about in that draft. I know some people didn't have him graded highly. People I respect, they didn't have him graded highly. I had Herbert graded highly because that kid has an A+ on him, and he's more athletic than he's ever given credit for. I thought he was a really good prospect. Herbert was. But to your point, I don't know what makes Tua a top 10 pick, and then a guy like system.
I know why he was a top 10 pick
national
because he
recognition.
only came to Alabama.
I'm not talking. You're talking to.
But I'm not opposed to a Kenny Pickett. I think Kenny Pickett has talent. I just don't know how that's going to replicate at the NFL level. And I think that one's a risky one because
We need to draft defense. We need to draft defense. Did you see our defense today? It was awful.
yeah, and it's older.
It was against the Jets. It was awful.
Yeah, we're old. We're old on the defensive side of the ball. And look, we got some guys like
first thing we
that
need
are
to
out.
do is we need to get rid of Jonathan Gannon. Jonathan Gannon is awful. He's awful.
I want to give up Gannon. Gannon came in here very highly recommended. And yes, he had a letdown game. I'm not happy with what he did in the first 3 or 4 drives of the game.
I'm not happy with
it. It felt very passive against a rookie quarterback. Like, why are we giving this kid this much respect?
What the fuck is he doing? What is he doing, Gates? You could probably tell us better than most of us.
I don't know what he saw
what the
on
fuck
film.
is he doing?
Schwartz was worse.
I don't know what he saw on film. I don't know what he saw on film that made him give Zach Wilson that much space to operate from. Because that's what Wilson was doing. He was just taking 1 to 3 step drops and getting the ball out. And when Wilson messed up and didn't hit the 1 to 3 step drops, he got dropped himself. And that's what it was like. That's what it was frustrating about it is like, hey man, this is a young quarterback. He's got talent. There's no doubt about Wilson having talent.
Yeah.
But he can't read defenses yet either. He's still progressing in that nature. Like, let's move this kid off his mark. Let's see this kid use his athleticism with that knee brace on and see what he can do. And I felt like it took him a little too long to do that because once they did that, we shut him down pretty much. But
and Philly Foothills. I mean, Philly Foot. I was just wondering, do you think it's maybe because you don't got a pass rush in this team? You don't
Both
got
of y'all talking at the same time. I can't hear you.
My bad.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm saying the second half, they did shut him down. God damn. I mean, the first half, it was brutal. What is Steven Nelson doing?
Oh, he's horrible, bro. He's known Carroll. I'm telling you, he's known Carroll 2.0. That dude's absolutely trash.
I see him get toasted. It's like, man, if the Eagles are smart, they're going to take those 3 first-round picks.
If the Eagles are smart.
And draft two positions at least. D-line. D-line, cornerback.
I'm going Derek Stingley in the first round.
Maybe in the safety. Or
a linebacker.
Well, we don't draft linebackers in
the
first round. It'll never happen. Ain't happened since 1979, bro.
But
and I like that.
I want to pack
the Kobe Dean
I want a thumper
out of Georgia, but it's not going to happen, bro. So every time, Gates, don't you laugh, bro? Don't you laugh when every year we come up on the draft, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're all talking about it and who we want to get and where we should go. And Eagles fans are talking linebacker.
Well, because we need one.
we're not going to draft a linebacker with this GM and this owner. We're not going to draft linebacker in the first round. It's not going to happen. It's like a waste of time. It's a waste of fucking time.
Eska, I agree.
It's not going to happen.
They need one. They won't draft one. I mean, like, here's the thing. I mean, you just saw the Steelers deny Devin Bush's contract. Maybe you make a trade for him. You just got to bring someone in here because these linebackers, like I said, I'm not a fan of Alex Singleton. I don't care if he's playing. I just don't want him on the field and tackling. I don't want him at all here. Yeah, I'm saying I want a thumper. I want a Patrick Queen type linebacker. You know what I'm saying? That we could have drafted. We just need someone who can hit the running back and make a statement because these linebackers, like except TJ Edwards and Davion Taylor, when he's healthy, they're not good. They're not good. And Ronnie McLeod is washed. He doesn't have it anymore. We need safety. We need linebacker. You know what I'm saying? We need defensive pass rush because Derek
Our
Barnett
defense
hopefully
was awful today.
gone.
They were awful.
Oh, they're awful.
Awful.
But they don't
Is
have to go
Marcus Epps
first
going to be a
round.
new safety for
They don't
now
have to
on?
go first round for a linebacker, though, guys. I mean, Darius Leonard was a second-round pick for the Colts. I mean, you can find talent in the second and third round. They just need to make a more concerted effort to value the position more than they do. And that's the thing. Is like they just don't spend a lot of resources there, obviously. Like, even
No.
Davion
You got Jordan
Taylor.
Hicks in the third round. So
Yeah, but I mean, think about how many years ago that was now, though, Reese. I mean,
it was
You know
2000,
what I'm saying?
2000
Davion Taylor, though. Davion Taylor, his problem is he can't stay healthy, and he's young, and he doesn't know, and he was raw. Totally raw. Right? But
yeah, absolutely.
at times, I seen him play. He can play. He can play. He can go now. But he's just raw.
All right, so I got a question for everybody in here and also the chat. So since we're talking draft picks or whatever the case may be,
Shit, I'm not.
What happened now?
I'm not because we got this guy still drafting.
Back to the regularly scheduled program of what I was saying. In all seriousness, like, would you try to? And I know this question I'm about to ask, it also pertains to what's going on in the draft and who's up and who's down. But are you using all three of those first round picks, or are you trying to move back or move up or whatever the case may be? What would you do?
Can I go first?
Well, it depends on Philly Fresh. It depends on if you're asking me what I would do, or what you would do, or what Howie would do.
No, what would you, if you're the GM for the Philadelphia Eagles, what would you do?
I'm going defensive end, first pick. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, also, depending on how the draft falls, best player available.
All right, so
safety,
before,
safety or corner, kind of like that.
Okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And then offensive line. That's how we build. That's how we build this thing. Offensive line.
See, I disagree with Gardner Murphy on one thing. I don't think we need offensive line. I don't think we're good on offensive line, but I would not mind going receiver.
You're never good on offensive line. I do get what he's saying, but to me, you got bigger needs than offensive line. That's what I'm gonna say. To me,
but Kelsey's getting ready to retire.
That's why he got Dickerson.
Okay.
And
then you have Lane Johnson. Lane Johnson with injury problems. Gate knows what I'm saying. You got some of these guys, they're one injury away from that's it.
Yeah,
everybody in the NFL is one injury away. Everybody in the NFL one injury away.
I think Lane Johnson could play 2 more to 3 more years. I think Brandon Brooks is the guy that we need to worry about. Right guard.
No. Offensive line, you got nothing. Look at the Giants.
Yeah.
If you don't have an offensive line, you got nothing.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I mean, I'll look
Yeah,
at it this
we
way,
have
guys.
an
I
offensive
wouldn't.
line.
I wouldn't necessarily move Landon Dickerson. He's playing so good at left guard. I leave well enough alone there. You got Isaac Seumalo, who was a center in college, and he worked with Carson Wentz at one of their camps. That's why they drafted him, because he was Carson Wentz's roommate, and he was the center for this camp. They moved him to left guard when he got into the league. He's a guy that has the ability to move. He's a guy that can pull and do the things that Kelsey does from that perspective. He's not Kelsey, guys. But
Yeah, but here's my
Yeah.
thing. He's
I
coming
would,
off
I
an
would,
ankle.
I would
He's
look to
coming off an injury.
Seumalo first at center.
Hey, you know what, Gates? Gates, can I tell you something?
Yes,
I was on a few streams, like prior to the draft, right?
mm-hmm.
And I was saying, like, as we're listing our picks, right? I'm like, Landon Dickerson, second, third, if he's still there, second, third round, take him. He's a stud. They were like, who? Because they don't watch college football. They don't understand. I mean, Landon Dickerson was the number one center in the league before he got hurt. He blew his knee out, right knee, at the end.
Yeah, he
Dude's
looked
a
like a grown
monster.
man.
The reason we don't hear his name, okay, he got a holding. I think he got a holding call today, right? But the reason we don't hear his name is because he's solid. He's good. He's a good fucking player, man. He's a good, solid offensive lineman. He's a monster. If he stays healthy, look out.
Philly Fresh, you're getting demonetized today.
Look at some of the Look at some of the blocks on that side. Mulata and him. It was like, it's not even funny, man.
Let's get
You're
some
just
credit
like,
to Stoutland.
they're like blowing people up, man. They're blowing them up.
Like I said, I would try to move Seumalo inside to center. I would keep Dickerson and I would keep Mulata on the same side together just because I think that's a really good tandem. I'll be honest, man. I'm still a little worried about Driscoll long term just because second year in a row the injuries have crept up on him.
Yeah,
But
injuries. Yeah.
when he's in the game,
But he's a fourth round pick too, though.
Yeah,
you can't.
Here's my thing. Do we keep Brandon Brooks? Because looking at his contract, I know Joey Shakes made a video about it, but his contract is untrade.
Brandon Brooks is done.
I doubt it. Yeah, I doubt they
You can't release him and trade him
enough.
until what later?
Had
You
enough.
have to trade him.
I had enough of. I mean, I love Brandon. He's an awesome player, but I had enough of him.
Oh, look, man. If Brandon
It's
Brooks
time to move on.
Look, if Brandon Brooks was healthy with Lane Johnson at right tackle, with Kelsey at center, then you got Dickerson and Mulata on the left side.
It's not even funny.
Bro, that's like legendary offensive line play. But
Right.
Brooks is just
If Brandon Brooks is
he's
playing,
done, dude.
Dixon's playing.
I think
Gates.
I think he's just like he's hit. He's done.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
I wish I was wrong. I wish I was wrong, but man, he's hit.
Yeah. Creed Humphrey turned out to be a pretty good center, too. And I agree with that, Natiro. He did. Creed Humphrey turned out to be a really good football player. But I'm pretty happy with the Landon Dickerson pick. I mean, I'm just, Landon Dickerson gives you those same concerns. Like, that's a young man that he's got to stay healthy because, he's had some injuries in college. But when he's on the field, that young man is incredible. Yeah, he's incredibly talented.
I personally would still took in JOK and Santino Jr. over him, but I'm okay with it.
I'm sure you've seen him at Alabama. Dickerson is a monster.
Yeah, I saw him at Florida State before he left.
It's all about staying healthy. It's all about staying healthy, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Landon was so funny enough. I didn't know Philly Jim at the time, and I didn't have the opportunity to work with him yet, but back in the day when he was playing football, he was teammates with Landon Dickerson. And I was scouting for a team that had no shot at signing Landon Dickerson. Like, this guy was getting offers from all the top, programs in the country. But you still scout everybody. Right. So I was supposed to go down there. I knew we had no chance of landing this kid. I sent a friend down there to go in my place, not knowing that I would have had an opportunity to have scouted this young man one-on-one, 5
For
years before
real?
anyone knew. Yeah, and I didn't take
And
it.
he went to Florida, right? He went to Florida.
Yeah, he went to Florida State. Yeah, I didn't take it because the program I was working
Right.
for had no shot at signing. But I was like, I could go down there and scout some other kids that are, they're decent. Philly Jim played down there. So, I'm not trying to knock Philly Jim, but you know what I mean? Like, it was like, I mean, like, they want you to go down there and look at Landon Dickerson. I'm not a line guy. I'm not a Jalen Williams. You know what I mean? Like, so I was like, I'm more interested in seeing the skill position players than the quarterbacks. But, yeah, he was a phenomenal talent, and he had quite the reputation here in North Carolina. I mean, everyone knew who this man was, and he came out of nowhere.
I'm just telling you.
Yeah.
I mean, I like
Gates. All I can tell you is I watched him play. I read his history and stuff, but when he came to Alabama, right, he was a monster.
Yeah.
This dude is so wicked. This is how wicked he is. He blew his ACL out, right? He's done, right? He don't want to hear that. They braced him up, and they gave him a snap in the championship game. That's how much respect they had for him. They let him come out and do one snap in the Alabama championship game. Because the dude's a monster. He's a fucking. I'm telling you, man. He's going to be an all-pro if he stays healthy.
Mac Jones's pro day.
What's that again?
He was doing like cartwheels and stuff at Mac Jones's pro day with a busted knee. So I mean,
I'm just telling you, dude. If this guy stays healthy, right? He's a perennial Pro Bowler. If he can stay healthy, that's the key.
Yeah, I hope he can stay healthy because I like.
The dude is a beast.
Yeah, dude, him and Mulata are very, very good together, just on the field.
And Gates,
let's talk about Jordan Mulata. Mulata is actually
prior to the draft, right? I'm just a knucklehead on here, right? Prior to the draft, when I'm telling people, I'm like, Landon Dickerson. They're like, who was that guy? I said, dude, he would have been a top 10 to 15 pick if not for his injuries, right?
If not for his injuries,
right? Who said I'm wrong? Gates.
I don't know if he'd be top 10, but he was a surefire first rounder. I don't know exactly where his value would have been.
Okay, first rounder.
Yeah.
So okay. And look, we got to steal. If he stays healthy, we got to steal. That's where Ryan gets, Ryan. That's one of those good Howie picks, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Eagles champ one doesn't like saying his name.
See, Gates, I'm sitting back sometimes, right? I'm sitting back and I'm just watching, and I try to pay attention. I'm not saying I know everything. We're all wrong sometimes, right?
Yeah.
But I'm like, when they took Landon Dickerson, I'm like, fuck. Oh, yeah. This dude's a monster. If he can stay healthy.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, guys. You guys got any last thoughts? I got to get ready to wrap it up, man. We got to get some food and stuff. So what are your guys' thoughts, man? What do you think happens coming out of the bye week?
Wait, you didn't ask me if I'm going to be the GM. You asked him. If I'm the GM, I'm taking best player availability. I'm not taking no. Listen, like people got to understand.
Fine. Okay, your top 10. Your top 10 pick. All right. Let's say we got the. I'm gonna say we got 10 because Miami keeps winning. We're winning, so Colts might not be in the better pick.
If it's between Aiden Hutchinson or someone like that, I'm taking Aiden Hutchinson with the first round pick.
You want to impact defensive lineman, basically.
Yes,
he won't fall to us. We'd have to trade up to get him.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm going to do. And that's why I say it's important to keep those 3 first-round picks because if a guy like that is on the board,
Okay.
you got to make a move
All right,
for it.
Gates.
You know what I'm saying?
It's good
So what
talking
would
to
you
you,
do?
bro.
Yeah, appreciate you, Bobby. So
I'll
what
see
would
you,
you guys
man.
do? Yes, sir. What would you guys do in the chat if you're sitting there, and let's say the picks work out to where Miami doesn't make the playoffs, but let's say they're top 15. Okay, so we got a top 15 pick. The Eagles make the playoffs, so we're hovering around 20 something. All right. The Colts make the playoffs, so we're hovering around 20. We got 2 picks in the 20s, 1 in the 15th pick. Do you take all 3 of those picks? Do you trade back into the second round for value purposes? Or do you take those 3, bundle them up, and go get in the top 12 and get a surefire pick? Someone you know.
I would take the 2 first-round picks, and then maybe with the third one, or maybe the second, depending on the deal, trade back
It all depends. It all
to get
depends who
another
you're going to get.
first-round pick next year, Gates. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
Because
not
how
doing
they
it.
do.
Yeah.
They give up crazy fucking shit to trade up for a player they like, right?
Mhm.
I mean, we just seen it. We
Yeah.
went from 6 to 12 and got a first-round pick. We only moved 6 spots down.
Does it worry you if we're picking outside the top 12? If those 3
Yes,
picks turn out to be not top
absolutely.
12?
Well, with Howie, yeah, with Howie,
Yes.
and Jeffrey, and it's Jeffrey. It's not just Howie. It's
I
Jeffrey.
know.
It's
Yeah.
Jeffrey and Howie involved in these picks, and absolutely, it worries me.
It
what
worries
I'm
me
saying,
too.
if you
I don't trust that they would listen to Tom Donahue and the scouts, who would be like, okay,
they don't
guys,
listen,
you know what I
Gates, they
mean?
don't
Like,
listen.
this is where we need to be on the pick. But
They
yeah,
don't
I mean,
listen.
but Dante, the thing is, though, man, there's normally 12 to, in a really good draft, you might get 15 top tier guys.
Well,
After
Right.
that, man, after
let
that,
me say this.
it's you know what I mean? It's hit or miss.
Let me say this: if Derek Stingley is on that board and we passed up on him for just like for example, if Derek Stingley's on that board when we pick, you have to draft him because honestly, it's like you got to think of also, this offensive
No,
line, this defense got to improve,
it's really
but
that
this,
good.
but
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Derek Stingley Jr. to me
What do
is
you
like
think?
I think a lot of people.
It's good.
I think a lot of people look at, like, for example, you remember when they said Patrick Surtain was not going to be good out of college, and now he's a stud in Denver. Same thing with Diggs. I think people focus too much on the college and not look at what he can bring in the defense because we got to understand also is LSU also switched him around from number 1 to number 2 to playing different positions. He's a guy that, to me, needs to be man-to-man corner. You know what I'm saying? He needs to be a man-to-man corner. And if they always had a different scheme, I think, this year and last year. I don't think he's played a different scheme. He also had different positions he had to play. But Derek Stingley Jr., when you looked at, because I thought at first, but then when I went and watched his film, the guy is physical. He's not afraid to make a mistake, but he also tries to, he has to work on his tackling, but he's very good with looking and pointing the ball and making a play to knock the ball away or intercept the ball. For example, he can go to 1-on-1 to number 1 on a
I've seen him get
receiver.
burnt a lot of
Able
times
to-
too.
Yeah, I mean, all corners have it. For example, Patrick Surtain always got burned, but there's different schemes. And right now, like I said, I'm all for bringing a new defense coordinator coach, and that's because I don't know if Jonathan Gannon, if you get a Derek Stingley Jr. and Jonathan Gannon is here, maybe it makes a difference, maybe not. But if Derek
Honestly,
Stingley's in the first one, you have to draft him.
he's
He's
probably
an all-pro corner at best, and there's a lot of
Gate.
people that compare him to Jalen Ramsey. So
Gate.
let me put that.
Yes, sir.
I think this is one of the worst defensive coordinators I've ever seen
Oh, he's horrible.
in
I thought
Philadelphia.
Chris was worse.
I think he's done. He's green at adjusting. I think he's better than the crap we give him. I think it's just that no one's ever going to be Jim Johnson, and I think that because all of us are old enough to remember Jim Johnson, it
Bud
makes it
Carson.
tough. Yeah.
Bud
Yeah,
Carson.
Bud Carson was good. But I was, for me personally, I remember that team, but I was young, man. I was like You know, we're talking Bud
Okay.
Carson. We're talking late 80s, early 90s. I was like 10-ish.
Yeah, but dude,
You know, I was, yeah,
I'm just saying.
yeah. But I mean, like,
I also like Andrew Booth out of Clemson too, the cornerback. Andrew Booth. I know a lot of people are not high
yeah,
up on him, but he's solid too. I don't know
You
how
know,
his
the team that know how to adjust, Gates.
yeah, he takes
When-
too long. And that's, you know, Jay Milton said it right here in his comment. Which,
Where's the
number one, Jay
adjustment?
Milton, I love your icon, the NC Central icon. That's Lawyer U, Elon and NC Central. It's like we're like 90% of the lawyers from North Carolina went to school. He said, yo, what's up, Gay City? We got the win today. Who's responsible for the defense missing the first bus and having to catch the second one? Yeah.
Where's the adjustment?
Yeah, the adjustments are late.
we don't even blitz. I don't even think we blitzed one today. Did we? Did we even blitz today?
You know, that's a good question. I'm sure they did. I can't recall any play in particular. Like I saw
Not
a lot
that
of
I recall. I mean, I understand what blitzing comes with. You blitz team, you're gonna leave someone open, but
right?
you
We should
gotta
have-
blitz a
I
guy
have to
like
see
Zach Wilson. You have to blitz him.
Put the smoke on it, but we didn't. This ain't it's sad, but we just don't have that, old school football no more.
Mm-hmm.
It's gone.
And I think Jonathan Gannon also plays where he's used to having a Darius Leonard on his team. We don't have that type of guy. You know, I don't know if Davion Taylor can be that, but he's used to having legit linebackers, and that works for his scheme. We don't have that. You know, because he plays what? He plays what, a 3-4 or 4-3?
I think we need to shut the fuck up because Gates wanted to go a few minutes ago. He's out of here.
Yeah, so I appreciate y'all tuning in, guys. I really do. Bobby, appreciate you coming on.
All right, Gates.
Eagles champion, I appreciate you, buddy. Guys, listen, when the All-22 comes available, so I got a few things going on. Number one, guys, I got you hooked up with webcam now, so that way the video won't be dropping as much as it used to do, which was getting annoying for me too, guys. So I got the webcam hooked up instead of using the internal cam. I got installed a new router, guys, and I'm plugged into the router so that way I keep the connection speed faster for you. Also, guys, I have a VPN, so I get the European version now of NFL Game Pass, so I'll get access to the film sooner. So with that access sooner, I'll be able to evaluate and get stuff out to you guys quicker. So as soon as I can see stuff, guys, I'm going to evaluate it. I'll put it out. It'll be out there this week, guys. I appreciate y'all so much.
All right, Gates, man. I tell you what, man. You do a good job, bro.
Thank you, sir.
I like your breakdowns. And you're all right.
I appreciate that, Bobby. I do, man. Really do.
All right, man.
All right, guys. Later, y'all.
So I'll talk to you later.
2 hours and 13 minutes, guys. Thank you all so much, man. This is why I love doing Battle Birds, because I know you guys would stay here for 4 hours if we kept going. We're not doing that, though. My wife will literally try to kill me. So, all right, y'all. Peace. I'm out of here.
Late.